I swear to God, there are days when I wonder why I even bother to get up and look at the news. I get it. I'm old. I understand that. Believe me, I get it. I'm nearly 60. I regularly have to look up things on Urban Dictionary because I have no effing clue what these people are talking about. I have no interest in watching TikTok videos at all because, again, 95% of them make no sense to me at all. None. I mean, it's not even that I don't get that it's supposed to be funny. I'm not humor impaired. I just don't get it. I can't get past the fact that somebody took the time to sit down and record this and post it to social media and I don't have a clue what the hell they're talking about or why they're doing it. I'm old. I get it. I wear Rolling Stones t-shirts because I like the Rolling Stones, and basically every joint in my body makes hideous popping and creaking noises every time I move. I also get that the vast majority of the world thinks I'm irrelevant. I don't matter to them at all. Most people don't give a flying fornication what I think about anything, and quite frankly, I'm fine with that. I don't care. But for the life of me, I don't get some things. And I get up in the morning and I read the news and I sort of pull my hair out because I don't understand. I get a hammer and beat myself over the head because I can't get this shit out of my brain. The Germans announced yesterday, or the day before yesterday, that they are sending 5,000 helmets to Ukraine. No, not 5,000 guys named Helmet, which is what you would think initially. You'd go, okay, the Germans are sending troops to help. Not that I'm in favor of that, but you might think that that's what they were thinking. No, they're going to send 5,000 steel helmets to Ukraine. You know, the first thought was they're going to send the Pickelhaubes, you know, the German spiked helmets with the spike in the top. That got an immense amount of humor on the web yesterday and the day before yesterday about the Germans going to send these helmets as if that's going to do something. Somebody pointed out the fact that, well, the Ukrainians might use those helmets to headbutt Russians, and that would be violence. We can't have that, can we? As if that were not enough, Neil Young popped up. Now, I swear to God, if you had asked me 48 hours ago about Neil Young, I would have told you he was a good guy. He was a good singer back in the 60s and 70s. One of my favorite memories of my childhood is being at my aunt and uncle's house in Denver. Being in the basement, an unfinished basement, of course, because in Colorado in the 70s, that's what you had, with my cousin Ruth Ann, Mike, and Rob. And my cousin Ruth Ann, who's the oldest of all of us, had a 45 record player. It was a Snoopy one, Snoopy's Doghouse or something. And she had the 45 of Neil Young's Keep Me Searching for a Golden Heart. Yeah, I think that's it. And I remember sitting there listening to it. And it was great. It was fun. It was a cool song. And it's a song that I still like. But I think in my top of my head, I can name 2 Neil Young songs. I own 1 Neil Young album, but only because those 2 songs are on it. And if you had asked me 48 hours ago about Neil Young, I would have said he was a singer from the 60s. Because I swear to God, I thought he was dead. I had no idea Neil Young was still around. I didn't know. But he gets all in the news the other day because he decides to tell Spotify, you either cancel Joe Rogan or you can't have my music on Spotify. Now, look, I'm all for symbolic gestures and that sort of thing. You want to do a symbolic gesture? Have a ball. But did Neil Young really think that Spotify was going to go, oh my God, Neil Young's music won't be on our platform, or we got to get rid of Joe Rogan? Do you really think that they even thought for more than a second about that? the idea that Neil Young resurrected himself to be relevant in the news for more than an hour is amusing to me. But at the same time, of course, Spotify said, okay. And they've started pulling Neil Young's music. And I would bet money, I'd bet my lunch money today that in one day, Joe Rogan has more downloads on Spotify than all of Neil Young's music combined throughout his entire history has on Spotify. There you go. Then we're told that yesterday that the federal government has outlawed monoclonal antibodies treatments. The FDA has revoked its permissions to use monoclonal antibodies as treatments for COVID. So if I want monoclonal antibodies, I can't have them. If I have cancer, I can have marijuana, right? I mean, I can go get marijuana if I have cancer. Nobody's going to throw. If I have this faux gluten allergy, I can get alternate treatments for that. I can go to the store and get all kinds of homeopathic bullshit, none of which has been approved by the FDA, but I can put it in my body. Nobody cares. I can go to the vitamin store and get any number of ridiculous things, from fat pills that'll make me burn fat to things that'll make my dick hard. Sorry. None of this is approved by the FDA. Nobody cares. But I can't get monoclonal antibodies because why? I don't know. Saw a thing today on the news, not 10 minutes ago. They had a thing on the news about the what do they call this stuff? Anxiety tech. Have you seen this? Now, my son has some of this. My son has a fidget spinner thing. He has a fidget cube. These are all things that, when I was a kid, I used to pound on stuff. I used to drum on stuff, drove my mother nuts. My mother regularly tells me that if they'd had this back when I was a kid, I would have been diagnosed as ADHD. So, but this anxiety tech, the person on the news talking about anxiety tech and talking about how all these people are buying these things that poke holes and move stuff around and it relaxes you, buzzes, and none of it's been approved by the FDA. None of it is approved by none of it has been proven to work. But you can get it. Thanks to the lockdowns, if I'm stressed, I can't go get a full body massage. Well, I mean, I guess I could, but I'd have to wear a mask. They'd have to wear gloves. I mean, it's not a full body massage. I don't even know what it is. I don't know how to describe it. The bars all close early now. You can't even go out and get a drink in the middle of the night if you want. But you can get anxiety tech. Oh, the other thing I can get, I'm not making this up either. You can smoke a toad. No, I'm not kidding. The Sonoran desert toad is a toad which produces something called bufo. It's the venom of the Sonoran desert toad. It contains the molecule 5-MeO-DMT, which is one of the most potent psychotropic drugs ever discovered. In fact, it was so obscure that it was only recently in 2011 that the United States government decided to make it a controlled substance and therefore illegal. For 9 months of the year, the Sonoran desert toad lives under the sands of the Mexican desert to survive the scorching heat. But when the winter rains arrive, it emerges for a Caligula-like orgy of eating and fornicating. Glands on the side of the neck and legs emit a venom so toxic that it can cause death in a predator within seconds. There's something called a bufo hunter. They go out at night using flashlights. The toads freeze when confronted by a bright light. Then they milk the venom from the toad's glands. Typically, they use a mirror to catch the spray, and overnight, the milky venom dries on the glass, turning the flaky crystals, leaving behind only the 5-MeO-DMT and none of the lethal toxin. And allegedly, the toads are unharmed by this. Then the people in question take the crystals and they smoke them in glass pipes. And most people who try it describe a feeling of oceanic boundlessness, of oneness with the universe. They describe high levels of ego dissolution, right? And some describe a fusion with God, a visceral connection with the divine source of all life, and a sense of connection with all beings. So with all the stresses of today's world of being a celebrity, you'll be happy to know that toad smoking is now openly being discussed by them. No, I'm not kidding. Major celebrities are smoking toad, and they're talking about it. They're openly discussing the fact that I've had 15 years of stress and it dissolved in 15 seconds by smoking toad. And these, by the way, are the same people who are tweeting and Facebooking and being interviewed by and making statements about the fact that we need to pay attention to their opinion about what COVID treatments should be allowed. They're smoking bufo, which, by the way, is illegal, but they're openly discussing it. And in any case, bufo is definitely not FDA approved. You can get it and smoke it at shops and all kinds of places, and you can go to parties with your mind boundlessly expanded and be, I guess, stress relieved. I don't know. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, my stress is getting to the point where not even coffee is sort of helping anymore. I'm getting frustrated by all this nonsense. I'm, as you know, concerned about the potential for a worldwide conflagration of World War III starting in Ukraine and West Taiwan. But for all of that, at least sometimes I can still relax. But I've been thinking, we have in our front yard somewhere, nobody can find him, a very loud and presumably very large frog who lives in our front yard. And believe me, at night, that freaking frog makes a lot of damn noise. Now I'm wondering, maybe, just maybe, he's got some glandular stuff that I could smoke. Maybe help me relax a little bit, get rid of some of the stress about all this stuff that's happening in the world. And then I can make YouTube videos about it. People will send me millions of dollars. Or the feds will come arrest me, one of the two, because obviously I'm a terrorist and I'm using bufo to fight COVID.